I've been invited here today to propose some construction work in regards to the precast steps and entranceways to the locations at Parc Beausoleil. I'll start off here. We'll get right to the precast steps because that was the major, what we proposed to do. If you take up pages 1 and 2. We'll start first with the excavation. Of course, we're going to be removing the steps that are existing at every location. I believe there's 72 steps as we've indicated on the drawings. All the steps, regardless of whatever is existing, every single step will be excavated to a depth of about 15 inches below the existing step. And not just the area of the step itself. If you look at the diagram 2 on page 2, you'll notice the dimension of a precast step. You'll see some 2-inch patio stone slabs, as I've indicated, installed around. Then you'll see a kind of a gray area. That gray area is the full perimeter of the excavation that will be done around the steps. So a lot of them have existing flower bed walls and whatnot that will have to be dismantled, of course, to provide for the adequate space. The point is we're creating a base, and the minimum requirement for base is always 8 to 10 inches beyond the edge of the product, whether it be concrete, interlock, asphalt, or precast step. And what we'll be doing is we'll be installing a minimum of 12 inches of granular array. So this is 0 to 19 millimeter granular. Allows for maximum compaction as well as drainage. But before we put the stone, once we excavate the area beneath, we're going to be giving it a slope. So we're going to be sloping the subgrade 2-3% so that we create drainage as well beneath the step itself. Okay, this is below granular. We're going to be installing a geosynthetic cloth. There's multiple purposes for the cloth. It's water permeable, so any water that does get underneath the step for whatever reason will not saturate the ground subgrade. It will not cause the granular to be compacted within the soil. It will allow the water to permeate out and away from the step, and also it keeps everything separated.
It keeps the fill.
On top of the geosynthetic, we've, like I said, 12 inches of granular stone compacted. 95% Proctor is what a specification is, of course. That's very, very densely packed. So that being said, again, indicated in both drawings, you'll see the cloth, you'll see the granular base, and what you see on top of that is a 2-inch concrete slab. And what we're going to do is we're going to use that concrete slab as a footing, per se, for the precast step itself. And the step itself is a precast step. It's manufactured to the CSA standard, same as the other steps there. It's the industry standard. They have your A23.494. If we just continue to page 4, we'll just go to the walkways first before I get to the railings. And when it comes to the walkways, we do have a variety of options. And these walkways there's about 2,200 square feet total. And we've got 3 options here. We can remove all the asphalt. Of course, a lot of it is cracked and lifted anyway. We can regrade, we can recompact, and then we can repave. Same size, same dimension. All the steps and all the grades in the whole community are going to be standard 7-inch steps. So from the driveway to the first step, 7 inches.
Oh, fantastic.
So everything's going to be an equal height, equal step. Every particular location will be dealt with accordingly. The concrete, we've recommended a standard 4-inch sidewalk slab. Again, 5 to 8% air, 6% air is typical. We can also apply expansion joints between the precast steps and the concrete walkways. Okay, and that allows for some movement. Okay, so you don't have lifting of the step or lifting of the sidewalk. They'll be separated independently by a fiberglass composite, Black Joe as they call it, expansion joint. So that'll be placed between all precast steps and any concrete wall, anywhere the concrete has no place to move. And also the concrete will be saw cut for expansion every 6 feet. The other option is brick, is in a interlock, which is the nicest aesthetically, but of course requires more maintenance and it is a more expensive product. We've only put it here just as an option. But we're part of the component, of course, is the railings for all the precast steps. So we brought in 2 sets of samples here.
Yeah, okay, well, that's good.
It's a modular system, so we're able to integrate like any style of spindle into any style of ornamental as well. And then again, any style of cap. And for the price we've quoted, the varieties here are all included. It's all preference. Okay. We recommend larger posts. We always recommend larger posts. Smaller posts have a smaller footprint, of course. True. More likely to move over time, depending, kids and everything else swing it off them. You want them to last. So spindle size is really irrelevant. It's all preference. Small or large, and then cap size again is really preference. Here we have another option of ornament. That's fine. And what this is on top is this is actually a brand new product. This is a composite fiberglass plastic wood veneer that goes over the aluminum. So it comes solid like this, and it's basically a faux wood. So it's a lifetime product as well. It won't fade or chip or anything else. Of course, it won't rust. It's plastic. So and it goes over top. There is an aluminum core beneath here for strength. And this product is similar longevity than lifetime product. So it's a little bit more expensive. It was basically an additional
Regarding the
option.
precast, where you have doors side by side, where you have two precasts, are you gonna butt them together, or are you gonna make one big one?
Well, they won't be one big one. You're talking about locations like
Yeah, so
across
Yeah,
the
what
street.
do you have
right
side
beside
by
We'll be
side?
looking to have the steps increased in size slightly for those particular locations so that they butt up against each other.
There's no spaces in between.
No, but they will still be two.
What's the deadline, if, like, will you be able to do it this summer if we get you the?
Of course, yeah.
And what would be
When-
your
when would you
cutoff
start?
date?
The timeline for completion of this project for the steps and sidewalk removal will probably be somewhere fall between 15 to 20 days complete.
When would be the obvious start as far as the,
We probably suspect trying to, early in May. We'd like to start earlier as possible. If you're looking for a 2011 completion, I'd be like, well, if you'd like to finish this summer, we can accommodate. It's quite early in the year to accommodate. If you said, you know, if I give you,
No,
a
but
few
your
weeks for that matter. But as far as the pricing here is concerned, typically our quotations are valid for 30
how much time do you need, leeway do you need before we give you an answer? Otherwise, you might be occupied somewhere
Of
else.
course.
Say, if I don't do this by this time, I won't be able to start before
Well,
September. I
There's
don't know
several
the schedule.
factors. Several factors there. The railing themselves, we require 2 to 3 weeks for the railing
Okay.
components in order to have them facilitated. We don't want to have too many steps without railings installed. We want to have again the steps. Everything will be fairly seamless. You'll see steps go in, you'll see railings go in after them, and so forth throughout the week. So
Everything follows.
2 to 3 weeks, exactly. 2 to 3 weeks, everything will be delayed. So I say the step work will be finished in 3 weeks. Of course, the railings and the grading might come after once everything's complete. The precast steps, some of them are specialty order sizes, so they're not standard steps. They're not something we can just have, we can make and deliver. We have to have them made, so they'll take 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
So if you're asking me how long before you say, okay, Joe, we're ready to go, we'd like you to start, we would need at least 3 weeks, yeah. before-
You will need 3 weeks from the day we say you have.
Go ahead.
That's my next question. Do you know
Yeah.
of any animals that can dig through the proctorated compaction, whatever you call it?
When it comes to nature, they can get through it. When we do garage floor removals and slab removals, a lot of chipmunks and squirrels can easily burrow through granular. Smaller animals will have an easier time burrowing through granular. You'd be hard pressed. I mean, a groundhog would have a difficult time just dispersing the material, because how would you push stone to the side when it's so compacted? There's no more ability to move that product.
Perfect.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Very nice meeting you.